Man, I've seen all the chaos going on out there with the students. Ugly. By the way, did you guys look up Carmen Electra?
She's all right.
I can't find any recent image of her.
Well, my buddy, Jim, you're watching, Jim Kennedy Institute of Public Policy Research. He just texted me. He goes, she's got an OnlyFans.
Does she really?
Yeah.
I mean, does that surprise anybody?
Are you ready for this? This is my favorite thing. How much do you love the Tushy? Scale 1 to 10. Dollars.
I bet it's like an insane price. It's probably like $50 a month or some ridiculous subscription service. They can charge some crazy middle-aged divorced men make some serious money off that.
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Divorced men? Heck, there's married men
Absolutely.
going on that, dude.
Probably your stepdad.
Good Lord.
It feels like something that would be on there, right? You ever hear those stories? It's like, what was that girl that was like, yeah, my biggest customer I found out was my stepdad. I'm like, God. That's a hard no.
That's just like some family issues I know nothing about because I have a healthy family relationship.
Yeah, okay. That makes you feel better. That's if you can, you do it. I know people are like, I would never do it. Yeah, you would. You would absolutely do it. If you could make $100,000 a week, you're not saying no to that. It's a tough. I'm talking about the average person. Some people are like, I would never do that. Please. You know why we say that's gross or whatever? It's because we don't want to spend the money and because nobody's paying us.
Yeah, I was going to say, we can't make that money. If we can get a paycheck for $2.5 million for like every 3 months for it.
Oh. Well, I've been considering, clipping my toenails and shaving the hair off of them.
That's right. I like that.
Putting a ring on the pinky and
Ken,
seeing what we can get.
See what we can get.
Ken. My friend, please.
We'll call his. It'll just say spare change.
So I'm not podcasting this segment of the show.
Yeah,
it'll be called Little Fella.
Speaking of weird step, did you guys hear that? Did you hear the story? You must have heard the story, Ken, in the Connecticut. That freaky story. If you guys haven't heard, check this out. Talk about creepy.
The prosecutor in Connecticut calls the case something out of a horror movie. A woman accused of locking her stepson in his bedroom for more than 20 years with little food or water. Authorities say to get out, the man used hand sanitizer and paper to set his room on fire so he'd be rescued. According to court documents, the 32-year-old said he was locked in his room since he was 11. Police say he was emaciated, weighing just 68 pounds, claiming he drank from the toilet because he was given only 2 glasses of water per day.
68 pounds. He's 31 years old.
Good Lord.
Yeah. And she is denied it. And her attorney came out and said, it's all a bunch of baloney. He's lied. He was living his best life.
How can you deny that when he weighs 68 pounds?
I don't. She said, first of all, what happened to Pops? Because you're the stepmother. So is he dead? That hasn't been sussed out what happened. But he used, what did he say? He used hand sanitizer and something else to start the fire. And he said he didn't care if he died. This was enough. 68 pounds. Inside of a room. He only was allowed to come out and do chores, and they had to go back in. And he said all he thought about was food. Because he never, imagine coming out of a house after, 20 years and like what the world has become.
There's another story about a recent mother who's killed her son, like by sitting on him. Have you heard that story?
Oh, God, I heard that.
Yeah.
There's
terrible mothers out there.
There are some terrible, there's a lot of terrible mothers. There's a lot of terrible people out there. Elon's not one of them. I like Elon. He's interesting. Don't get me wrong. He's not stupid. When I hear people, he's stupid, it's like, really? This is Rep. John Lawson, who is from Connecticut. Not a shocker. He's a Democrat. He's going to act for you here. He's going to act angry.
Where's the independence of the committee? Where's the legislature? We're an equal branch of government. And you start off with a blather, and yet look at the empty seats here. Where's Elon Musk? I'm sure he's a genius and is a very credible person because of the wealth he's accumulated. But that does not put him above the law or the responsibility to come before this committee in this Congress.
He's very upset. Sir, take a deep breath and go.
If he's so great, if these plans and all the fraud and abuse that he's found are so eminent, why isn't he here explaining it? You know why. because he's out to privatize Social Security.
Ah, there we go. There we go. Sir, why are you yelling?
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Yeah. And you're hurting the microphone. Obviously, you guys do not know microphone etiquette. That right there, though, is just the best. I love that stuff because the anger that people have, none of it's real. It's like that guy yesterday that appeared with Tom Homan, the guy that's running to be, I think he's going to be trying to be mayor. He's number 2 right now, currently, as it sits in the race to be mayor of New York. And he's screaming supposedly at Tom Homan, and the sheriffs are all there because Tom was in New York. And he's looking at the camera side eye. Tom Homan's nowhere to be found. There's nobody there. Just the police standing there. It's all an act. It is all theatrics. I'm not saying they're not people that are mad, because there's plenty of people that are upset and mad. They don't really know why. They couldn't explain everything. But I look at this and I think to myself, the over dramatics, and then you get to Social Security should have been privatized for my generation 20 some years ago. That should have happened. It didn't. And the reason government would never allow Social Security to be privatized is simple. If you privatize Social Security, you take away the money that they need for other things. They need all that money always coming in. Yes, paying people, but doing other things they need. Well, we only borrowed from it once. It is nonstop. All of these companies, all these countries, all these cities and states, they all do the same thing. Given the opportunity, if they have to dip into a certain fund, they will. They don't want to give up control. They don't. And you've seen that more and more. Never has it been more on display, ever, than it is right now in what people in the Democratic Party want, which is they want all of the control they can possibly get. Federalized. Everything. One big thing. This is what it should be. Here it is. This is power. This isn't about money and waste. The less money that's there, the less power you have. Kinda. The less that you get rid of these people, the less power you have. Kinda. The less the federal government matters. Yeah. The federal government was never meant to be the end all to be all. Our founding fathers didn't want that. It was meant to be something you did, then you went home eventually. You didn't turn it into a career. You didn't show up in 1992 and you're still serving. You didn't show up like, Biden did, when he was 29 and still serving until your 80s. That was never what it was supposed to be. It was a civic duty you went and did. The Democrats want to control power. And for all the stuff about, Trump wants to destroy democracy. Trump's trying to go back to what it should have always been, which is more states' rights. The more that states can control their destiny, the more there's competition amongst the states, even though we're all working together, we're all the same country, the better it is for everybody. And some people just don't get it. But this is theatrics amongst theatrics. And I sit there and I laugh and I think, my God, I don't even know if I could do that with a straight face. I'd be like laughing halfway through. It's like, I'm sorry, I can't do this, you guys. I can't be that mad. Here is Trump talking a bit about the Democrats.
But who would want these things? And everything's transgender. Everybody transgender. That's all you hear about. Now, that's why we won the election in record numbers. But very importantly, now it is what it is. The Democrats should get with us and come up with good tax policy.
No, they don't. That would be great. Good tax policy. No more wackiness. No more lunacy. Common sense. Let's get rid of the labels, man. Let's just be us. Let's have a little fun. They can't. They can't do it. They can't, because it's about centralizing control. The beauty of our republic is each state is its own fiefdom. It's not about, that's why you can never get rid of the Electoral College, because then what you'll have is coast running the entire country. Small group of people running the entire country, dictating things. We can't have that. We can't. And it's great that I see us going back to more states' rights. And that's why, like, immigration was a perfect example of why immigration is one of the things the federal government does. Like, this is your jam. You do this. And, well, Biden didn't do anything. We recognize that. And Trump, with the stroke of a pen and hey, guys, remember those laws we used to enforce? We're going to enforce them again. Okay. Dead stop. Dead stop. Trump meeting with NATO, which is interesting. As we were talking earlier, if you guys haven't heard, apparently, Putin is, in principle, kind of agreed to everything for the 30-day ceasefire, but he did it in his full fatigues, which makes you go, oh, okay. And then you've got the likes of Poland asking for nuclear weapons, which I don't think would be a good idea. Somebody said that's a great bargaining chip. It is. But if your goal is to not push, if that's the goal, you really want to do that. And Putin wants a way out. He knows he cannot do this forever. He knows he can't.
The other big issue, of course, is just the NATO alliance. The president has pushed NATO countries to up their own defense spending as it relates to their GDP, to contribute more of defense spending. And the president also doesn't want to see United States forces over there as part of a Ukraine peacekeeping. That this should be something that European countries do, and also NATO takes the lead on.
Which they should. And yes, we're part of NATO, but if, we would handle the issues here, we would ask them. Now, if there's a war and they attack Poland and others, then we all get involved. That's one thing. But it's that close to you. You need to pay attention and be the lead on this because it matters that much to you. We're not asking you guys to come fight the fentanyl fight. We're not asking you guys to come here to do that. No, nor should we. But we are saying is take the lead. We're not going to abandon anybody. Because I think having NATO is a good thing, especially with the way things are with China, the uncertainty on the globe. It is a good thing to have. Because remember, NATO isn't just about a war between countries. They fought hard with us in a war on terror as well. And that's something that I think people forget, that it's not just about like country versus country. Speaking of terror, we're going to talk a little bit about Mahmoud Khalil because it is getting spicy, guys. I am looking at some of the pictures and videos of I guess that's Trump Tower. And these people are getting dragged out of there. There's not a messing around in some of these situations. It's not Colombia, guys. You're not going to be able to stay here in perpetuity. Oh, my goodness me. This guy has become like a superstar martyrdom person. And we'll find out what I don't even know when the next hearing is. His wife spoke yesterday. His lawyers have spoke. This is going to be something very interesting to watch because they're arguing freedom of speech. That's not what this is about. Talk about that, bunch of other stuff, and Disney's giant mess, kids. Wow, is this thing stanky. Talk about that straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.